Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? Good. Good. I am Chaos Incarnate Cosplay. I am also known as Vic. I've been doing cosplay for 16 years, and I am in forensics as a full-time job, and I also do freelancing for NASA. It's been pretty cool. So.
That's so cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I will be your host. I ask that you guys hold your questions until the end. We have some questions here for our lovely panelists. Without further ado, I'm going to have them introduce themselves.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name's Jazz. My cosplay name is Jazzthebat Cosplay. I am a Atlanta-based cosplayer, and I'm in Michigan for the very first time. I'm very happy to be here. This event seems really cool and awesome. I've been cosplaying for 13-ish years, and I specialize in making props and armor. I also work at a haunted house, so I make monsters too. And yeah, I'm just really happy to be here and happy to answer any questions you all have. Oh, thank you.
Hi there, I am Bella, but online I'm known as Halcybella. I am a content creator and cosplayer who has been cosplaying since 2013, but professionally probably since 2020-ish. I am based in Salt Lake City, Utah, but I'm also very excited to be here. Never been to Michigan. I love this library. I love community events like this, so I'm very excited to answer questions and be a part of this panel.
Hi, I'm Ashley or Ash. Either is fine. I go by Alpaca Ash online. I've been cosplaying since 2001, so I'm made of dust, but it's okay. I do a lot of teaching online. That's been the thing I've been loving to do lately since I've been doing it for so long. I love teaching about embroidery and sewing and 3D printing. And I also compete a lot. That's one of my other things I do as part of cosplay. And I've competed internationally, represented the U.S. in Japan for World Cosplay Summit in 2015. And I love getting to judge and run panels and meet people. And I'm so excited to be here because as soon as they emailed me, I was just like, this is an immediate yes. I love books and libraries, and I'm so happy that they had me come out. So I'm so happy to meet all of you. So thank you so much for coming and making this an amazing event. So thank you.
Hi, I'm Dorsey. I go by Akakioga online. Very similarly to everyone else, I started cosplaying in 2013. So we kind of all started roughly around the same-ish age, time frame. My first con was in 2006. So that's kind of where I started kind of figuring out you could cosplay year-round, But since then, I've worked with companies like Blizzard Entertainment, Microsoft, Obsidian Entertainment. I do a lot with video games. I call myself the jack of all trades, master of none. So I sew, I make armor, I 3D print, I make wigs. I do pretty much everything that you can think of cosplay-wise, minus make your own shoes, which you can do.
You can do that.
I've seen people do it.
Oh, I've done it.
I ain't got that. I ain't got that kind of patience. So bless you.
It's hard.
It looks very hard.
It's very hard.
But yeah, I'm a completely self-taught cosplayer, and for me, this journey has been really fun, not only as a Black woman in cosplay, but then also as somebody who gets to come out to events like these and other conventions to be able to express the reasons why I've gotten into cosplay, but then also, express the importance of representation within the cosplay world, and just kind of having those two married with my craftsmanship and things that I've been able to do. I appreciate, y'all coming, reaching out and having me, be here because this is a very diverse room. Mm-hmm. And that makes my heart, just sing because it used to not be like that back when I first started. So thank you all for being here and thank y'all for having us.
Give a round of applause.
More.
Wonderful.
Oh, stop it.
It's the Adam Driver. More.
Before we start, do you guys love TV? Yes. Do you really love TV?
I love TV.
I can't. I think I need a little bit more than that.
I love TV.
Do you love television?
All right, we're going to get started. I have a set of questions here for our panelists that we're going to go through. So the first thing that we're going to touch topic on is cosplay for beginners. So first question, What was the first thing that made you want to cosplay?
Okay. So who knows Steven Universe? Yeah. Yeah. Can you guess who I loved in Steven Universe? Let me give you a hint. I am 6'3". And I have an afro when I am not wearing braids. So Garnet came out, and before Steven Universe was released, I had been making stuff for my friends here and there because I like to sew and make things in general, and I was practicing back then. And then when Steven Universe came out, I saw Garnet, and I immediately fell in love. And I was like, not only like do I like looking at her and like feeling represented, but also she has like a similar personality to me. So I'm like, I could be Garnet. And I did, and that was my very first cosplay, and I had a lot of fun as Garnet. It was a really good time.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
I love the
That's
characters
really
that you
wholesome.
like feel like internally. They're so fun to cosplay. I started cosplaying at the age of 13 years old before I knew what the word cosplay was. A comic convention, the first of its kind in my state, had arrived to Salt Lake City. And so my parents were like, cool, it's like second Halloween. What do you want to do? And I grew up in a family who played a lot of video games. We still do. And at the time, I loved Twilight Princess Zelda. So that was my very first cosplay. Yeah, it was before we knew.
Ambitious.
That is a very ambitious.
My dad really, really helped me out with this cosplay. I don't know if it was before the time of like clear Warbler or if that existed, but my dad would like take big thermoplastic, some sort of like clear plastic, stick it in the oven, and then like it was a dangerous game to make the armor pieces, but that was my first time cosplaying, and ever since I've loved it. I didn't learn what the word cosplay was until a couple years later.
That's fantastic.
cool.
That's fantastic.
I love it so much when parents like get
supportive
involved. I
parents.
love that so much. For me, I guess technically my first cosplay might have been Cowardly Lion from Wizard of Oz, but I was like 10. But, and it was for Halloween, so I mean I count it because it was a character and I wanted to like. I was like in that mindset of like I wanted to like pose like the Cowardly Lion. I wanted to act like him. And that was kind of the gateway was Halloween for me. And then I met a friend my freshman year of high school who she had been going to conventions since she was a little tiny baby because her parents were Trekkies and going to Star Trek conventions. And she introduced me to cosplay because her mom would make her like Sailor V, and she made Magic Knight Rayearth, which is one of my favorite anime ever. It's very old, but it's so good. And so that was my first introduction of that's what it was. And so my high school friend, when I was a freshman in high school, introduced me to cosplay as a concept. And I was like, you can go get dressed up at other places than just Halloween? What do you mean? And so that's how I got started and was going with my really good friend who had a very good she was a con mom. We had a con mom, so we had supervision, and it was great. So my parents had no idea what I was doing. They were very confused and very scared. Yeah.
So my first convention was Anime Expo 2006. I'm originally from LA, so I got, Anime Los Angeles, Anime Expo, a lot of kind of like the big ones you hear about now were itty bitty when I first started. Actually, very simply, my mom was also a Trekkie, so she like kind of had me like watching a bunch of just like very nerdy TV, and then that's when like the big three of anime was coming out. So Naruto, Bleach. And why am I blanking on the other one?
One Piece?
One Piece. See, I don't watch One Piece, so sorry. It's too many episodes.
You should read them all.
I don't have a time. I don't know.
Watch the
once
Netflix
you got to 1,000 episodes, you lost me. Anyway, but like I was already watching a bunch of anime and like just cartoons growing up. My mom would watch them with me, and then eventually she saw that AX was coming to town, and she was like, "Hey, this is a great birthday gift for you. Like, you're turning 12. I think it was 12 at the time. I was turning 13. And so she bought us 2 tickets to go to AX. And that was the first time that I had ever known that you could dress up, was me walking into the doors and watching an Inuyasha and a Sailor Moon walk by at the same time. And I'm like, what? This is possible? Me being young, I thought that was the real Inuyasha because I was cute and naive, But at that time, I was like, I didn't have a costume yet. So I looked at my mom with my big old doe eyes, and I said, hey, Mom, it'd be a great gift. Buy me a costume at the convention. So she bought me a Sasuke costume.
Oh, that was your first.
And so Sasuke was my very first cosplay, and I wore it to the next day. So like she bought it on day 1. I came back wearing it on day 2, braids and all. I didn't know better. I just was just rocking the fit. And then everyone's like, oh my gosh, I love your Sasuke. And I was like, this is really fun. So eventually I started learning how to make my own when I got a little bit older. And then now I kind of do it, I guess I could consider it professionally at this point. All because she went out on a limb, bought me tickets to that con, bought me a Sasuke costume, and that was my first itch to do this for the rest of my life.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome. You know what my first cosplay was? I made Optimus Prime out of cardboard.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Nice.
That's it.
Yeah!
Cardboard.
That's the
Cardboard and spray paint and a lot of faith.
I was gonna say that's the same energy as the box Gundam.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was hot glue, cardboard, and spray paint.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I applaud you guys. That's I could never. That's amazing.
You could go buy a Sasuke costume right now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true.
Oh,
I did see the little transformer in the back. I saw Optimus Prime in the back there. They're really cute. Yeah, super, super cute. Yeah, but I would never think to like go out and get like a cosplay from a convention, and you guys are so proud, and like it's so inspiring. It's very inspiring. So, but I have many more questions. So then the other question that I have is, how do you cosplay on a budget?
what's a budget?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, that was an inside thought.
Insight came out.
So answer how you see fit. If you guys don't have an answer, well, there goes my arm.
Oh no. Need a hand? Sorry.
I might need a hand. But yeah, please.
I can
answer how you
start.
see fit. Yeah.
That's a great question. First of all, you see, we are here at a library, and fun fact that a lot of people don't know is that libraries have a lot of resources depending on your local library. For example, this one here, I saw that there were 3D printers right here.
Yeah.
I'm assuming, are there like sewing resources or other resources here as well?
That's awesome.
Okay, yeah, so your local library is a good place. The thrift store is a really, really solid place for finding pieces and things and fabric, especially like using drapes or blankets or stuff from that. Or if you're doing more of like a Renaissance fair fantasy type cosplay that doesn't require very specific pieces, it's a great spot for like leather straps and boots, shoes. Also estate sales sometimes. And when theaters are done with whatever like show they're doing, what do you call that sale? After they're like done doing their theater thing and then they sell their costumes. Anyways, theaters do that where they will like finish with the production and then they will sell the costuming and fabrics they're no longer using. I wish I could remember the name, but those are just a couple places where it's a little bit cheaper.
Kind of like a garage sale, or
Like a post-production
Yeah.
sale
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
I just cannot remember the name. But those are just
Yeah.
a few resources, but I'm sure my other colleagues have more.
So, sorry to really quickly interrupt. If you are in this area and you're interested in using the secret lab, so sewing resources, 3D printing resources, go to aadl.org/secret lab and you can reserve time to come in and use our resources. If not, you can also come into our open lab time. You can also check out sewing machines from us.
Awesome. That's so good.
Yeah, it's
That's really
beautiful. I love libraries.
Me too. That's the library is one of my big, also just +1 to everything she just said, because it's such a great resource. And one of the things that I like to call out is that you don't need expensive materials or tools to make amazing things. It's not required at all. And the best, as long as you find something that just like works. And one of the things that I like to recommend is, if you're getting into it, especially at the beginning, is don't go out and buy a bunch of tools until you know the things you like. So checking out a sewing machine, see, do you like sewing? If you hate sewing, don't go buy an expensive sewing machine. Try one out. Or you can go, I don't recommend buying the cheapest sewing machine you can from a big box store or anything, just because sometimes they don't last as long. My now recommendation is look on marketplaces online to find
Yep.
Yeah, like Facebook Marketplace, just secondhand marketplace in general to find tools. A lot of times people will buy really amazing machines and then don't want them anymore, and they'll sell them for super discount. Vintage machines, by the way, are amazing. I've been getting into those, and those are made to last forever.
Those are workhorses.
Workhorses, they're made out of steel or iron, and it's just insane. I just got one from the 50s, and that thing still works. I just got it. I went to a local servicer who cleaned it up. He's like, yeah, these last forever. They will still service those things. So vintage machines, amazing. And I recommend, for sewing especially, get some scissors and thread, and you can even hand sew something together. So you don't need anything crazy, and even fabric wise, you don't have to buy $20 yard stuff. Garage sales are great. When my sheets die, I use those for mock-ups. Like I hoard fabric, but I will it has a hole in it. Well, that goes into the mock-up bin for when I'm sewing something. I think those are my main ones. Yeah.
I was gonna say I actually got a Husqvarna Viking from Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
And it was $175, and that thing is.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Wow.
That machine is usually like $700. I got it for $170.
Those are expensive.
Yeah.
And it is a beautiful machine. She kept it in nice tip-top condition, so it basically is brand new for me. So yeah, Facebook Marketplace is a gem. A place that actually opened up near me recently is actually a secondhand craft store. So think of your typical kind of like thrift store, but this one is specifically for crafting. So they sell like a bunch of like kind of like secondhand fabrics, or people have like given them their scraps. But sometimes the scrap could be like 3-4 yards long, and you can get it for like $2. I have made stuff from that store multiple times just by going in, having an idea of kind of what I was looking for, because you do have to be a little creative when you go into a secondhand like thrift store, because they're not exactly going to have what you want. But if you have an idea of what you want, the world is your oyster at this point. And I just made a Kyogre cosplay from Pokemon like a couple weeks ago, and a lot of the like tidbits and little bits and bobs I got from this secondhand thrift store, and I walked out with a bag heavy of stuff for $20. I bought pearls, I bought gems, I bought beads, I bought fabric, I bought so much stuff that from somewhere like Michael's easily would have been like $100 plus something. So definitely recommend, if you guys have a secondhand craft store, definitely check them out. And they also take donations. So if you're not using anything that you want to give to a good cause, most of those places are volunteer run as well. So definitely you can go donate them and then maybe pick something up that you can actually use in return.
I just want to add real quick. I recently went to a con and I hosted a panel. It was a cosplay swap meet style panel where we traded fabrics with each other. That's something that you don't need a host for. You could just do that amongst your friends and loved ones. Just community resourcing, seeing what, like if someone has something that you need and if you can trade for it, that goes a long way as well. Reaching out to your community and helping each other too. And then also too, I also have a secondhand store in Atlanta that I go to, and I donate a lot of my stuff there when I'm done making my stuff. So definitely see if you have one around you, because that saves a lot of money for sure.
Yeah, even with coupons, it's still expensive.
Yeah,
doesn't
the
matter.
coupons don't hit like they used to.
I know they don't.
Especially in the day and age of Joann's no longer being a thing.
Rest in
and
peace.
a lot of
Rest
Rip
in
Joann's.
peace, our girl.
Rip Joann's.
Michael ain't cutting it. No. Sorry. I'm sorry.
So you got to kind of recycle amongst yourselves and see if someone else can help you out.
Yeah.
So speaking of helping out, if you guys are local to Michigan, if you guys work with EVA foam, there's a place called Foam and More in Clawson, Michigan, and you can get a 6x6 foot roll of EVA foam for $30. So that's where I get a lot of my EVA foam from. So I highly recommend them. They also ship. If you are not from Michigan, there's a great resource. Another good resource is for rhinestones for jewelry and other bits and bobs is Sun's Beads on Woodward. They also have really good prices for a lot of rhinestones. I've gotten 500 rhinestone pieces for $5. Highly recommend them.
I would never leave that store.
No.
I don't.
I love me some shinies.
Yeah.
I've spent maybe a little too much time in there. A little too much time.
I did have one other thing I want to mention is there's an online site specifically for either selling or buying secondhand cosplays after someone's made something. It's called Luminka. I need they actually, it's like specifically for cosplayers, and so you can find a bunch of things that people are either done with wearing after they've made it, and so there's a lot of swapping on there. So there are some secondhand just cosplayer sites out there too.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. So next question. When you first started, what was the most difficult object you had to face?
Object.
Like a physical object?
Like a
Obstacle.
Obstacle. Okay.
Object.
Okay, so just difficulties in cosplay.
Yes, difficulties.
I would say that as a plus size person and a tall person and a black person, a lot of my struggles were just image wise and being afraid to cosplay and not look like the character. I have since gone and grown from that, and now I don't care. But it is a common hurdle that people have, and I talk about that a lot at the cons I go to. I have panels where I talk about cosplaying for you and cosplaying your own way. And yeah, it's just it's a mental block that not everyone, but a lot of people have to get through. And the most important thing to know is that a lot of people are in the same boat as you. Your average convention, you see people of all sizes and colors. And at the end of the day, we're just nerds in costumes. And most people are there to have fun and talk to you about your favorite characters. And yeah, it's a lot less scary than what it seems.
I agree with that. In terms of like physical obstacles, space, time, and money for making costumes, that can be very difficult. I am in this as a job, so sometimes a client or a company, most times a client or a company will come back to you after a back and forth with some emails being like, I don't know if we want to work together. I don't know if I want to pay you. Actually, no, we're going to work now. We need you to make this in 5 days. So that can be a little bit of a struggle.
That's rough.
But in terms of what Jazz was saying here, the mental health part of being like a professional cosplayer can be sometimes an obstacle as well. During the pandemic is when I grew in my like content creator journey, and it was awesome. I'm so grateful, but as I'm sure y'all can attest to, it can be brutal out there. Like people can just be quite mean. And so, I mean, my recommendation for that is mental health services, therapy, having a good community around you, like awesome fellow cosplayers and friends to build you up, but it's still totally worth it. So fun.
Yeah, those are all really good answers. I'm like, I don't even know. I think for me, because when I started, social media did not exist. If you can imagine it not existing, it's weird. Yeah, that it's like, that it didn't exist when I started. But I would say, for me, the hardest thing was I had a lot of shyness or insecurity about just how I looked in general. I am still a huge nerd, but I was a very quiet, shy kind of nerd, and I had a lot of hard times feeling good about how I looked when I would put on cosplay. I had this image of what I thought I looked like, and I was like, oh, I don't think I look good. I kept thinking I looked bad all the time, and so that was the thing I had to like really get over. And I think it was a thing where I realized, no, you look, because I was trying, not to get too much into it, just like I grew up in a time where the media was not very kind to girls. I mean, we still have plenty of problems, but there was a lot of stuff I internalized. So I had to get over and work through a lot of that as I was getting older. Growing up in the 90s was hard. It was hard. It's still hard now, but we had different types. Yeah, different types of things to deal with. And I remember the first time where I was actually thought I looked cute in a cosplay, and I was like, oh, you can feel good about yourself, and it's like it doesn't matter what you look like, it's it's like about how you feel, and it's everybody looks amazing. It doesn't you don't have to be to this weird standard of how somebody else looks in something. And sorry, I mean to go heavy or very serious about that.
I mean, it's an obstacle question.
It's the thing I struggled with a lot, and I have, as I've gotten older, I definitely have worked through that a lot. It's just like, and it's like, have the confidence to do it. It is absolutely worth doing it. And yeah, you'll make so many friends. It has changed my life in so many amazing ways. And I wouldn't be here with y'all if I weren't cosplaying. So yeah, I think that's mine.
No, you don't have, never apologize for taking up space. Nope, you said it again.
I know I'm in trouble.
Yep,
I'm in trouble. Yeah.
So as an actual, my day job is actually, I am a completely fully licensed mental health therapist within the state of Ohio. So I have my full independent license. So in my day job, I actually diagnose and treat mental illnesses and other such things. So your spiciness does not matter to me because I think it makes you who you are. Anyway. But side note to that, as a mental health therapist, the thing that has gotten me out of kind of my shy phase when I was younger has been cosplay. And you know, back to my story of me cosplaying Sasuke when I was 12, my brain didn't really register race until I was older. So I would cosplay whoever and then just like the internet again, we weren't really big on the internet back then. So I was just posting pictures all over the place thinking I look cool, you know? But until like I started really pushing myself as to like being hey, I'm making things now. I want this to be a little bit more professional. I want to show myself off so I can like get brand deals and go to conventions and work with other companies. That's kind of when things started getting bad. And kind of very similar to Jazz, where being black online is already a struggle as it is, but then now you're cosplaying characters that aren't your skin color, then that's a completely different story. But now being in my 30s, I'm realizing that I don't care.
Yeah.
I will give Fern baby hairs.
Yeah.
Okay? And the biggest thing that I feel like for me, outside of my like cares slowly dwindling with the more people that say things online, for me, it's the people coming up to my table or me seeing me at a convention and saying, thank you for doing this. You're the reason I started cosplaying. Like, I'll have, like, little black girls come up to me and be like, oh, my God, like, you're amazing, like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, that's why I do it. Not just for myself, but for the people who may not think that they can, to see that you can, and you can look cool. And if anyone says anything, I have the buy one, get one free discount. So my biggest piece of advice, I know it's tough out there, especially with how social media has changed so drastically over just even COVID, you know, that social media isn't who we are in person. Or at least I'd like to think so. And I think everybody in here can at least attest that like we are here because this is a community-driven thing that we all love to do. And I would also love to think that you are inclusive enough to make sure that everyone here, no matter what they look like, is having a good time. And that's why I want to try and remind people of that we are no longer subjected to just being cosplayers on our phones because of COVID, but now we're able to come back in person and see community again and make friends and make connections and actually enjoy ourselves for, you know, the first time in a while since all of that has kind of changed things. So I hope that you're keeping cosplay fun for everyone in here. And that's really kind of like, I know there's probably an advice question you're going to ask us at some point, so I'm sorry if I jumped ahead. But it kind of just ties in with just having community, having good friends, and just, you know, making sure that you're here to have a good time.
And that's very true. Like, I've been in situations where I've been beaten down, and sometimes, like, you just got to say, screw it. Be who you want to be.
It comes with age, too.
It does. It does come with age.
Younger people in here.
Yeah.
Once you get to, like, late 20s, 30s, I'm 31, you just don't care anymore. You just,
No.
you're going to do what you want to do, basically.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to
Totally
spend my
get
money
that,
the way I want to.
Yeah, it does not matter how young or old. Like, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
you start developing I don't care attitude now while you're young, but just know that it also comes
It'll
with
come
age.
with age.
Yeah, it does get easier.
Yeah, exactly. I've had people, like, I have friends that say, like, oh, I'm 35 and I don't think I should cosplay anymore. I'm like, I'm
doing
gonna
it.
cosplay until I'm 60, 70,
Yeah.
80. I'm still gonna go.
That too.
Exactly.
Well,
Exactly.
It's like when you're in your 30s, that's when you have the adult money.
Right, the
Yeah.
real adult
Yeah.
money. The 20s is fake adult money.
You have the real adult money. Just saying 30, yeah, for any of the, don't worry, you don't turn into dust when you hit 30. Your 30s are amazing.
Yes.
Just saying.
Yes.
I enjoyed my 30s way more than my 20s.
I'm still walking in heels, so.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
No, be
see?
excited.
Like-
I mean, getting older is great. Yeah.
Honestly, yes, you
Yes.
really do become a real adult once you hit your 30s. But you're still like a teenage adult. If you really think about it, like once you hit 18,
I'm still a little kid.
No, literally, like once you hit 18, your like age counter kind of starts again. So now you're like, when you hit like 32, you're technically 12.
Yeah, baby.
I mean, the last convention I went to, I rode around in inflatable horses. So on the convention
Keep the
floor, I'm
whimsy
still a kid.
alive.
Yeah, never too old. Never too old. What advice could you give to a starting cosplayer?
Well, I did my job.
Yep.
So you're exempt. You're exempt from this question.
It's a good question.
So I would say start cheap. There's, again, no reason to invest in a bunch of fancy machinery in products. Every cosplayer starts at zero for the most part. So start cheap. Start with your strengths. If you already know that you're good at building something, make a cosplay where you can show that off. You want to be proud of yourself for whatever you make, because that makes it more fun and more interactive. You want to interact with people more when you're at a con, when you're proud of what you do. Ignore. I'm not a fan of social media a whole lot in general. I don't think that new cosplayers should go in with the expectation that they can start a career on social media with their cosplay. I think you need to get into the con scene first, make friends, build your own support group and community, and then when you are, getting older, then you can start trying to pursue something online. I'm bad at social media, so, but yeah, start cheap, make friends, make something that you're proud of, and yeah, that's pretty much all I have.
Yeah, that's good.
My advice is that cosplay is what you make of it, especially in today's day and age. There is a downside to not having the same con scene that we did 10, 15 years ago, and how like social media has kind of invaded the cosplay space for good or for bad. But the good side of that is that cosplay has kind of grown and diversified in a way where it is what you make of it. If you want to like be a cosplay builder, you can. If you want to do like K-pop dances in cosplay, you can. If you want to sing in cosplay, if you want to buy cosplays, if you want to, like, I feel like cosplay is just an extension of fandom, fan art, which is really cool. So you get to decide what you want your cosplay journey to look like and take it from there. Also, having friends really helps if you're like nervous about cosplaying. It's fun to have fellow nerds to go around with. And
Even if you have to make the costume for them. So you
I've
I've
done that.
into it.
Yeah.
I have.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
No.
There's also, while there is something very, very beautiful and rewarding about taking the time to make your own cosplay, you don't have to. You can buy a cosplay off of Amazon, fix it up if you want, or don't fix it up if you don't want. But again, cosplay is whatever you want it to be, so don't let social media or outside influences dictate otherwise. It's a community, it's for fun. Enjoy it.
Yeah. I like that. It's basically mine's the same answer. It's like how I like to put it is that if you are emulating a character in you wanting to do that, you don't have to like nobody has to like no one has to all role play or anything like that. But if you are just putting on cool makeup and wearing clothes out of your closet and filming yourself, that's cosplay. If you're buying something, that's cosplay. If you make something, that's cosplay. In all of it is under the umbrella, and you don't feel like you have to do something that somebody else is doing to count, because you're valid. Everything you're doing is valid. It's all about it's an art. I always will stand on this, that cosplay is an art form, and art has so many different avenues and interpretations of characters, and it's all valid and all amazing and all beautiful. And that's just my advice is just go do it. Like if you are interested in it at any stretch, just go do it. But you don't have to go buy, a $100 costume or anything like that. You can. My first like con cosplay that I made, I bought pieces from a thrift store, and it was basically like I cosplay. Showing my age again, but it was Catcher from Gundam Wing. And it was like khaki pants and a purple vest. And this was before you could get wigs as easily. So I used, my hair is naturally blonde. So I just pinned my hair up to kind of look like a boy hair. A boy hair. And that was about all I had. But that was like my first like anime costume that I put together myself, and it was just going through the thrift store and finding pieces to put together. And I wore it with a couple of friends who I met through my high school friend who introduced me to cosplay. And we did a little Gundam Wing group, and we found another character at the con and did a little skit. And it was like my first time doing a skit at a con, and it was wild. And I wish I could find video of it, but I have not found it yet. But it's very old. But yeah, it's just go do it. You will not regret it.
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Yeah,
just do
That's
it.
that. Yeah,
Right,
just do it.
Just do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Where's my green screen? You gotta just do it.
Yeah, I actually made a couple of Deltarune costumes for my friends, and they're like, I don't know anything about Deltarune. And I'm like, let's just go do it.
Just do it.
We're gonna do it.
No? Oh man.
Yeah, they had no idea, and I dressed them up as L9 on Lenino, and I was like,
Amazing.
yeah, it was
Amazing.
fun.
Friends like mannequins.
Yeah, I literally dressed them up like
Yeah.
mannequins. Literally.
Yeah.
And they'll probably have fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
It-
put
it's
it
so
on
much
them
fun.
in their sleep.
Yeah. Yeah. You might be able to bully your parents into doing it too with you.
I did. I actually bullied my mom into cosplaying Tsunade with me when I cosplayed Sasuke. She did it.
I don't know if I would be
It
able
looked
to with my
amazing.
parents.
She did.
Yeah, my mom's in the front row right here. She's shaking her head. I can't.
My mom's in the back.
We're
I don't
coming
think she
for
would
you.
either. So
We're gonna get you one of these days.
I'm gonna get you.
Gonna join us.
all right, so we're gonna get into
love
our
you.
next category. Oh, sorry.
No, you're
I don't
good.
interrupt you. Our next category is construction. What is your typical go-to material for cosplay?
Oh. Go to.
I can answer this. Okay, so my favorite cosplay material would be leather because
that's a good one.
I love to do like mini stunts or dances or go hike to get to a photo location in my cosplay. A big part of my own cosplay journey is the doing, the movement, the physicality. I love that part of it. That being said, it's hard to make something out of, say, EVA foam and not have it tear on a tree branch or some bark. However,
Yeah.
leather, it's very long lasting. It's very durable. It's great for, I don't know if there are any LARPers here, but it's great if you like to LARP, if you like to go outside, if you like to be rough and tumble with your cosplays. So that will be my first choice usually, especially as I do like to make like fantasy type cosplays. It's a very solid and sustainable medium. Like if you were to use pleather, which you can use like faux leather, and it works, but it does not last as long.
No.
Yeah, I had some pleather in my stash that was, maybe 10 years old, and I pulled it out to use
Was
it
it
for
peeling?
something. And it as soon as I tried to turn it inside out, it just crumbled. Like the coating crumbled. So I don't recommend if it's for like a one and done kind of thing, sure. But if it's something you want to last, and I like my stuff to last as long as possible, it's not. I don't recommend it. Yeah.
I'm an EVA girly. Since depending on where you get it from, it's still kind of affordable for a lot of people. Craft foam as well kind of goes under that umbrella. I use it when I make monsters at the haunted house that I work at. So it's still pretty useful. It has a lot of ways you can make it look like fabric. You can make it look like rocks and stone and everything. So it's just very versatile. And that's kind of what I start with as a base. I think, can I make this out of EVA? And then sometimes I do make stuff out of leather too. So leather is also good, but I think EVA is my go-to.
Yeah. Leather is so tasty. Don't actually eat it, but
EVA
it's like,
foam is so
smells
solid.
so good.
Oh, it does. New leather. It smells awesome.
Yeah.
I would say I'm gonna be kind of general, but when talking about fabric, I nowadays try to stick to as much as I can natural fibers.
Yep.
So linen is like, if you can find linen that you like, linen's one of my favorite materials to use, especially for fantasy characters, because and I'm also into historical fashion in general, and also it helps breathe. So I get overheated very easily. So using something with too much polyester in it will make me die. So I really like to find stuff that will breathe as much as possible. So I really love cotton and linen are my absolute favorites, and they're so they're easy to iron.
Yeah.
And it's very durable, and I mean, you can. There's polyester is great because it doesn't wrinkle as badly. So that is the trade-off. Linen is a wrinkle machine.
Yeah.
But that's the look of it, and that's okay. You know, it's okay. You know, if you want to make a cool pirate shirt, you know, out of linen, you will feel nice and cool. Wool is my other favorite thing. Wool is like one of the greatest inventions that humans have ever done. It will keep you warm and cool, and it's durable, and it's so soft. If you can find it there are places where you can find it for good prices, and I'm not talking like none of this stuff. Maybe it's a little more pricey than polyester at sometimes, but not all the time. It's kind of depends on where you look. So
I may poke you for some wool suggestions because I might.
yes, I can send you. If anyone is interested, I have some really great historical fashion resources that I use for cosplay. Yeah, they sell some amazing fabric.
Yeah, I'm poking you later.
Yeah.
So very similar to Ash, I actually also really like cottons and linens. I'm actually wearing a completely 100% cotton/linen outfit that I made on me right now. Granted, I am still hot because everything from head to toe is completely covered. Yeah. Literally up to my neck. I'm just like, but I can still feel as though I can breathe. This costume's just not meant for summer at all. Yeah. But very similarly, as linens, cottons, for me, when it comes to making costumes, I'm a big texture girly. So even in anime or video games, like sometimes it's just like a 2D flat, right? But you can interpret that as like, oh, well, if Fern's wearing like a robe, like would it have like a cool little like basket texture on it to make it seem like it's more rugged instead of like just a straight flat like polyester. A lot of my costumes are very much so inspired on where the characters exist. And so a lot of times in animes, because I love fantasy is like one of my favorite genres, a lot of times you're not going to find like silks and satins and stuff, especially if they're not rich or they don't have a lot of wealth in the show. So they'll typically have more of the like fiber, like fiber types fabrics where it would be linens or cottons. And sometimes they do get really wrinkly, but that's just kind of part of what it is. I bring a steamer with me every time I go anywhere. Yeah. It lives in my suitcase. Yeah. Oh yeah, if that is a question, definitely invest in a good steamer. Yeah. That's probably going to be answered later. Invest in one of those. They're great. But yeah, linens and cottons would be definitely my go-to fabrics. I'm also an EVA foam girly.
EVA foam's amazing.
So I would definitely recommend that because we're phasing out of Warbler, thank God.
Oh no, I like Warbler.
I love Warbler. It is expensive for people getting into it.
It is expensive as heck.
But it has its use.
It has its uses.
Everything
I still use it. I just won't recommend it as a starter material to people.
Definitely not as a starter.
No.
Yeah,
I
would not say leather's a starter material
Yeah.
either.
Yeah.
Foam is amazing. Like that.
Yeah, EVA foam is a good
it's so
starter.
good.
Yeah.
Again, that's the reason why it's kind of the standard still right now. Is it's also very forgiving.
Yeah.
You can make a lot of mistakes with EVA and just maybe cut off a piece and keep going.
Or it's battle damage.
Yeah, or it's battle damage.
And it's so lightweight. It feels like you're not wearing anything.
Yeah. The only problem is it's not breathable. So
No.
don't go
No.
covering yourself head to toe in it as your first costume.
Yeah, I've been doing that with Metal Sonic, so it's not fun. Yeah, so you can guess what mine is. It's cardboard.
Cardboard is really great.
It's
to
so
use.
good.
It's good for structure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has good structure.
It's good for structure. Most of my cosplays are made with cardboard, and then I build on top of it with EVA foam to give it that clean, sleek look.
Oh, I know. Forgot foam clay.
Oh, foam clay is so good.
So if you
Foam
ever use
clay's
like
great.
Sculpey, like it's basically just like oven dry clay, but it's air dry clay, but it acts like EVA foam. So you actually can sand it, you can paint it, you can do whatever you do to EVA foam to that. It just takes a couple days for it to dry completely, but you can do a lot of sculpting and stuff with it, and it's really, really cool.
My nose is made out of clay, of that air dry clay.
It's so nice.
Yeah.
it looks amazing.
Yeah, it's just I just made my own prosthetic because prosthetics are expensive.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
So you can get air dry clay and just make prosthetics and let it dry for a couple days, and I have a permanent prosthetic for as long as I need it to
And
be.
it fits your nose.
Yeah, fits my nose.
Only your nose.
I have a tiny story, but yeah, I have a friend. Her name's Issa. I bought her a prosthetic, and the last convention we went to, it was a little big on her. So as we were running the panel and she's running around, her nose fell off.
Oh no!
And she acts like she was like in a panic, so she took her nose and chucked it to the front of the stage, and actually accidentally hit somebody in the head with it. So it was-
Yeah, don't throw.
Don't,
parasitic
don't throw
cosplay.
your
Don't do that.
don't throw your prosthetics. So next question: how do you go about making patterns for cosplay?
I'll just go ahead and get my answer out of the way. Most patterns don't fit me. Just nature of being big and tall. So I self-pattern everything. I use the duct tape method for a lot of things, or I just use clothes that already fit me, and I just use those as bases and make what I need out of those.
Yeah. I'm not a sewist. I do more EVA foam, leather, things that are more solid because sewing scares the crap out of me, if I'm being honest. But same thing. I'm sure you can find a lot of tutorials to do this online, but a lot of patterning is wrapping yourself up in, it's not cellophane. Is it cellophane?
Yeah, it's
oh, that cling wrap.
Yeah,
cellophane.
Like cling wrap.
Wrapping yourself in cellophane and then putting either duct tape or masking tape over it and then drawing on that masking tape to make the pattern. I've done it many times for many projects.
It's a rite of passage.
It is a
Yeah,
rite of
yeah.
passage.
It's
Yeah.
really good for boots, like the boot cutters.
Also, if you
Yeah.
have a mannequin, it makes it a little easier to pattern on the mannequin instead of
Yourself.
patterning and drawing on yourself.
Yeah.
But you can also make a mannequin to your body type and size. There are tutorials online.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
duct tape, and you stuff it.
Duct tape mannequin.
Yeah, you make it duct tape. I would want to say if you're gonna do any kind of that wrapping, especially gonna do something like on your body, make sure you have somebody with you so you can get help getting out of it, and also just for safety. So everybody be safe. I got a dress form a little while into my sewing journey because a dress form, if you do a lot of sewing, it's a good investment.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be a fancy one. You can get one of the little adjustable ones that are a little more affordable, and that goes a long way if you're going to get into sewing. And I mean, make some cosplay friends who can help pattern stuff on you too. I've had people who have helped me do that, and also, you don't have to pattern everything yourself. If you can find something on, like, there's a lot of folks who nowadays will make really amazing cosplay patterns online.
Yeah.
Can I?
Yeah.
This isn't a plug for myself, but if any of you know me from online, you might know Rain Emery.
Does she make some?
Yeah, she sells with, what is the famous... Simplicity designs.
Simplicity
Yeah,
ones,
she has
yeah.
designs on Simplicity that are very cool and very fantasy-esque.
Merida. I'm probably
Made with Merida, or is it?
Yeah, made with Merida. She does some great ones. I've used one from Indigo Patterns before.
Yaya still has some in McCall's.
She's doing McCall's. Like, finding patterns as a starting point is a good. That's how I got started. Was finding patterns that are similar to what I'm going to make and modifying them. And a lot of the times, like, I've had, like, a lot of the commercial patterns don't fit me because I just, everybody's different. So you have to, it's a good thing to learn how to modify those. And it's usually just like adding a panel or, just kind of adding a little bit more fabric here or there. And that's a really good place to start as just a starting point. And even just using your clothes, like what Jazz mentioned. You can lay a t-shirt flat on the ground and trace around it, and then you have a t-shirt pattern.
Yeah. Or if you go to the thrift store and find a shirt that you like the shape of, you can deconstruct that shirt and then make a
100%.
pattern from it.
Yeah.
It's just as simple as you want something baggy, get a baggy t-shirt. You want something fitted, get a fitted t-shirt.
Yeah.
This is gonna sound awful, but yeah, I wing it.
No.
I wing a lot of my cosplays.
Well, a lot of them you kind of have to, especially if the thing just doesn't exist.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of, like, especially with EVA foam, like with Metal Sonic, I had to do a lot of organic, like, trying to figure out the shape because it's such an odd shape.
Yeah. And I always recommend making mock-ups for if it's sewing related. Mock-up with material you don't care about that's like super cheap and,
like a
and
bed
scrap
sheet or
fabric.
bed
something.
sheet. Yeah, like I mentioned, bed sheets. Like, don't use your real fabric starting out if you don't know what the pattern is. Make sure it fits you first, and then use that mock-up as the pattern. Is what I usually do. I keep like all my mock-ups.
Yeah. So I guess I use a combination of everything. Like I make my own, I buy patterns online, and I use commercial patterns. It really just all depends on what I'm aiming for. Because I do a lot of video game cosplays, I do have to usually pattern those myself.
Yeah.
Because I've done like stuff from like World of Warcraft and Monster Hunter, big things that just no one will ever make those, right? So I do have to kind of fake it till I make it for a lot of those. But for Fern, for instance, I actually bought this as a pattern on Etsy. It was Indigo Joe. She makes a bunch of really, really nice, easy to use patterns. And I was able to make this in like 3 days simply because the pattern was already readily available. My favorite phrase is don't reinvent the wheel if you don't have to.
Yep.
And that's why I love that so many craftsmen and cosplayers are putting specific character patterns on Etsy and like on their own like storefront stores, because it really takes a lot of the extra hassle of figuring out anime proportions and different shapes that just don't really exist, and they do it for you, and then all you have to do is make it so that it fits. And I feel like that is a little less scary than looking at something online and being like, how the heck do I make this from 2D to 3D? But then it's also 6 feet tall, but also it defies the laws of physics because World of Warcraft devs hate us.
I love it.
I promise you, game devs don't hate you.
I know they don't hate us. They make really cool things, but in the back of our minds as we're making things, they definitely didn't think of us.
No, actually, I will say, I am a video game developer also. Like, there are times where they're like, man, the cosplayers are going to hate us.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like,
We're
we do think about it
sorry.
sometimes. We're like, I'm sorry, man.
Like hey, it's okay. I do like looking really cool, even though my armor can't clip through me like it does in the video game.
Okay, so we do have less than 10 minutes left. Should we continue questions or move to the audience questions?
Let's move to the audience. Yeah.
Oh, 3:30?
Yeah.
I was gonna say
we're
I thought
so-
it was until 3:30. So
Okay,
Oh, yeah,
we have about 10 minutes for these questions, and then we'll move to
Okay,
the
that
audience.
makes me feel so much better. I was terrified.
You're
I was
just like panicking. We're yapping too much.
sorry guys, sorry guys.
All right. Let me do one final.
Quit your yapping.
We'll talk. Let's talk about cosplay contests. Because I know there's some people who are definitely wondering about that. I'm also wondering about it too. How do I learn to pose on stage? And how do I get over my stage anxiety?
That's a really good question.
That second one's hard.
I don't compete, but I have insight on this actually. I personally, when I was younger, I did like, for some reason, a lot of public speaking. I liked to perform in the theater. I liked to sing and dance. So you can do this at any age, but getting into like community theatrical events can help you get over that. And also looking up poses on like Pinterest. If you have a Pinterest, you can make a Pinterest board full of poses. Also, I have a friend who has like gone up on stage and posed not for competitions but for like other cosplay events, and she does bodybuilding, so she will like focus on she'll add aspects of what she enjoys into her performances as well, and just it's like mini practice for getting up on a big stage, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the things that I recommend is looking up. There's a lot of footage of contests online nowadays, and find a few and watch them and see what people do on stage. And you can see most cons will have, if you're just doing a walk-on, you're going to be usually you have 3 posing spots, and you want to pick poses beforehand. And the thing that I always tell people is you have more time than you think. It's usually you get like 30 seconds.
You get a while.
It goes by, you feel like that time that you're standing too still for too long, but I promise you're not. I think usually I recommend standing for count 2 seconds at least at each pose. And another thing that I started doing a few years ago doing performances was recording myself before the contest. And just see if you even like how you look in those poses. And you can just set up your phone somewhere and just hit record. It doesn't have to be, fancy or pretty, and just strike a couple of these poses and see how you look. And that'll give you a good idea of how you might feel, because you might think you're posing in a certain way. Also in the mirror.
Yeah.
There's a reason why in dance studios there are mirrors
everywhere.
There are mirrors everywhere. And I know it took me a while to be okay looking at myself in the mirror, but it's a huge help, and it'll give you more confidence. And the more confidence you have going into it, the more fun you have. And then my other thing is, if you're at a contest, talk to people backstage, talk to the other cosplayers, meet people, make friends. And as soon as you're making friends, it makes everything feel way less stressful.
Yeah.
Because you're all friends by the end of it, and it doesn't matter who wins. And that's the other thing is, it doesn't matter who wins. You're there. Just showing up and being on stage it's
a big deal.
That's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
That, you're putting yourself out there. Be proud of that. Anything after that is just cake on top of cake. You know, it's like you've already done the hard thing, and it's amazing, and you should be proud. And it's anybody who has the will to like go up there and do that and brave and put yourself in front of those people, that's amazing. So just go do it. It's really fun. You meet so many people.
You do. I guess like for me, like when I do judging and I like meet like our first little baby contestants because they're my favorite because I want to protect
yeah,
them.
just want to encourage them so much.
I do. For me, I really just tell them to like research their character and kind of just like Lisa practice in front of a mirror. You know, you have like your like maybe if you're if Fern, I guess is a perfect example because I'm right here. She has a lot of staff poses where she'll be posing with her staff. She'll have like an attack pose, and then maybe you can do like a cutesy one. So you kind of have like a theme for each pose, so you kind of have like a rough idea of how you would like to present yourself on the stage. And like like Ash said, your time on stage is more than what you give it credit for, but in your mind you're like, please get me off of this thing. So a lot of times I'll tell, especially our younger contestants, is to not look at the audience. I'll have them look at the back wall of the room.
Yeah, that's
that's actually how I got through public speaking in college, is I just look at the back wall of the room, but I make sure that I turn my head so it kind of looked like I'm looking out at you, but in reality, I'm counting down the seconds of get me off of this thing, but I at the very least, look like I know what I'm doing. But nowadays, I'm a lot more comfortable looking at someone dead in the eyes and making them very uncomfortable. So to me now, that's like the fun part. But if you are kind of a little stage nervous, don't look at the audience. You can look above the audience, and you'll still look like you're looking at them.
Real quick, too, practice posing with your costume on.
Yes.
As much as you have done, put it all on, because it also tells you maybe you can't pose certain ways because of the props you have. And so make sure you practice with the costume on, too.
I cannot tell you how many times I've practiced a dance or something, and then I'm like, I'm going to do this in cosplay.
Oh, no.
Can't do the dance in cosplay.
Yeah, mobility.
Especially if you're the type to make big swords and stuff. I love a big sword, but sometimes people cannot pose with them because they're too heavy or they're too in the way. So just, make sure you try that before you go on stage.
I also have one quick one regarding posing with weapons. I actually, I recommend learning a little bit of a martial art so you can learn how fighters actually stand, and it'll be even more believable. I haven't gotten to run this panel in a long time, but I've run a panel that's how to pose with weapons for cosplay, or I think I call it like how to look like you know what you're doing. And it's really fun. There's so many really cool poses you can pull from all kinds of different martial arts. Like even, I've done a lot of mostly historical sword martial arts, and it's so much fun. And I love helping people figure out like weapon poses. So it's a really good thing to look at. Even if you just find videos of people doing these martial arts, there's a lot of stuff you can pull from.
Yeah.
I've got a sub-question to that martial arts question. How would you think that at certain types of fighting games, say like a Virtua Fighter or Tekken, would help in in dealing with saying the accuracy?
Kind of like jujitsu and like those type of like martial arts fighting
yeah,
styles. It's a lot of like.
Fighting-based video games.
I mean, they pull from. Well, the cool thing about Street Fighter is that they're inspired
actually
by
are,
a
like, fighting
bunch
styles.
of different martial arts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was just saying Virtua Fighter and Tekken because usually they're the most accurate too. So think about what you do.
I mean, kind of if you think of people like Avatar. Like Avatar,
Avatar's a good example.
All the bending styles actually take specifically from martial art fighting styles. So I cosplay Katara, and so I actually had to learn some Tai Chi and actually learn how to water bend, but also make it so that I am like, because obviously water's not floating around me.
Yeah.
So the pose ends up mattering a lot more than pretending that I'm actually water bending water. And your muscles will hate you if you don't prepare and stretch, especially if you're in your 30s and up. Make sure if you're going to be holding poses for a while, if you're doing a photo shoot or if you're posing on stage, get your body warm.
Yes.
You know,
yeah,
do
I
some
feel
stretches, do some jumping jacks, and like make sure you're prepared because the last thing you want is a cramp mid pose on stage.
Yeah, I've been there.
It's not fun.
I was not.
And drink water.
And drink plenty
if
of
yes.
water.
you're cramping, you probably need to drink water.
Yes.
You dehydrated.
Always hydrated.
Yeah.
Especially in cosplay.
It's like you dehydrated.
I have done
Hydrate or
pageantry.
dihydrate.
I've done pageantry outside of cosplay. I've also done cosplay competitions. I have learned like certain things. I'm gonna give a small example, but what I have learned from some of the contestants is I usually point to where I'm going, to the next pose that I'm doing, and I'm gonna be like, I'm right here. This is where I'm gonna be. This is my pose. I'm gonna go back this way.
And show the back. Yeah,
Yeah,
make
gotta
sure-
show the back.
Show the back.
of your cosplay.
Show the back of your cosplay.
Yeah.
And then go
Front
back to
and
the other
back.
one.
Because
This
if
is
we
my
didn't see
pose.
that, we wouldn't get to see Tenna's amazing
Little tail.
tail and
Yeah,
cord.
make sure you show all of your cosplay. Some people don't even know, like, if I don't raise my hands up, you wouldn't even know that I had forearms.
Yeah, there are small technical things that go into competing and being on stage that, if you take a theater class, for example, are
Yes.
very helpful. For example, not like shifting your feet back and forth over and over again, sticking to like a couple places to look at rather than shifting around your eyes. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah.
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 Unless your character does that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
unless
You
your
know,
character is nervous or, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to do one more question, and then we'll open it up to the audience. So the last question I have for you. There's so many good ones
so many
in
good
here.
ones.
There's so many good ones in here. What is more important in a cosplay competition? Prepping or detail?
It depends on who you're getting as a judge.
Yeah. I mean, I would say preparation is everything.
Yeah.
It's if you're not ready, it doesn't matter how detailed your cosplay is.
Yeah.
You know, if you're not, you know, because you want to be on time and or well, pretty much early to everything.
Yes.
And you want to make sure that, you know, you're not freaking out, because like I will get more freaked out, you know, if I'm like last minute. So I would say be ready, and you'll have a better time.
Yeah.
So that's my advice is give yourself enough time to prep and be ready, and then you'll have a good time.
Because like details only matter so much if you actually put time into making them look good. Because I've seen costumes where they said, "Oh, I put in all of these details, but they look rushed." And like
Yes.
the more stuff you put onto your costume, obviously the more you're gonna have to be judged on. So if you don't give yourself enough time to put into those details, it will show. And we will not necessarily dock you for them, but we can't give you points on like messy craftsmanship. So I definitely would say prep. Like Ash, like give yourself plenty of time. Don't procrastinate, especially if you're competing, because we can tell. We make our costumes, so we know what a rushed costume looks like
Because we've done it.
Because we've done it, and we still do. So but we rush the ones we don't compete in, so it's fine, right? But if you're competing, give yourself plenty of time. Give yourself, ample amount of opportunities to wear your costume before you even take it to the con.
Yep.
Do a test run. Even Jazz mentioned it. Do a test run. Do all of these crazy things that you're going to do at home, because if something breaks, if a seam rips, you could just take it right back to your sewing machine and fix it up really quick before you get onto the con floor. Because I've had a couple contestants in previous conventions who have had their costumes break mid-judge.
Yes, it's happened.
I mean, you just see my hand break off, so
But you're not being judged.
it's true. It's true.
See? So it doesn't matter. But like if you're in the judging room, we are expecting your costume to be as pristine as you could make it up to the time you walk in, right? If something breaks afterwards, go fix it before you get on stage. But like you don't want to have to worry about something falling off.
Yeah.
Mid judging.
I was going to say, from my experience with different aspects of cosplay, it does not matter how many absolutely beautiful little loving details you put into them if you also don't give them time to cure, them
Yes.
time to dry.
Curing is so important.
Yeah, time for stuff to settle before you put it on, or else you're going to have scratches and smudges and marks, and
Yep.
they do matter.
Yeah.
would-
I have actually judged somebody who had wet paint on their costume. Like I was judging them.
jeez.
And I was, because
You touched it, didn't you?
yeah, because I
No.
needed to, very frequently when you're judging, you will flip seams or like, and I always make sure to ask permission before I touch anybody's costume. But there was one time where I touched somebody's costume, and then thankfully I happened to look down at my hands and they were green, and I was like, oh no, and I didn't say anything right then. I'm just like, okay, well, I'm not going to touch their costume anymore. And then I just asked to go wash my hands before the next contestant. It's one of those things that it can happen. And sometimes it might be a little bit of body paint or something might have gotten on your cosplay while you're getting ready. And that's okay. But you want to make sure that you give yourself that ample time to make sure you're
set.
you're set. Your paint's dry. So yeah, just watch out. And simple costumes can win contests. If it's pristine, it has happened. I have definitely
Yeah.
awarded costumes that were just
clean and they were structured well and they fit the person well, and so it doesn't have to be crazy. If the foundation isn't good, the details don't really matter as much.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I think a lot of judges are more inclined to just reward a cosplay that's simple and done well versus something that is super detailed and cool, but the details kind of lack because it's been rushed. So even if you feel like you're pressured to do something super amazing and awesome on the stage, you don't necessarily have to do that. If it's done well and it's done with plenty of time in advance, you have a better chance than someone who rushes.
Yeah.
Great. Those are great answers. All right, guys. You guys ready to open to the audience? You have questions?
You just want to point out people?
Yeah.
Pass the mic?
Yeah, I'll pass it. I'll just come over. I'm going to run down over here.
Yeah, go Tenna, go.
Good answer, Steve. I'm just kidding.
Thank you. So, where are the good places to buy clothes? Like, for instance, like if you need like men's clothes, like a vest or like pants or shirt or something like that. Like,
Thrift store, number one. See what you can find there before you go try to invest somewhere more expensive. If it's character specific, there are stores online that sell cosplay clothing. And anything else?
It really, really just depends on your purpose, because I could say anywhere from Bergschneider, which is like random historically accurate linens and fabrics for LARP, to Amazon for something quick, but they do have like size guides that are accurate half the time. It just depends on what you need.
At least you can return.
Yeah, you
you
can
can
return
return some of
Amazon.
those things. That's a little bit more of a safe bet, at least.
thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Speaking of cosplays that break, what do you keep in your repair kits?
Oh, that's a
I
good
love that question.
Okay.
That's such a good question.
Depending on where I am, like if I can drive to the con, I overpack.
Yeah.
My repair
Same.
kit. I will
Overpack
bring
anyway.
my iron and my sewing machine if I have to. But for general purposes, I keep hot glue, super glue. If I have, like, for example, for my orc today, I have like string and stuff. If I need to tie something back on, I keep scissors, pair of scissors, nice safe travel pair of scissors.
Less than 4 inches if you're flying.
flying.
If you're carrying it on.
Yeah.
If it's checked, it doesn't matter.
A needle and thread. I bring whatever thread matches the cosplays I'm wearing. And yeah, I think that's pretty much
I
it.
think I'll only add to that safety pins if you're in
Yeah.
a rush.
Safety pins, yeah. That's good.
Yeah, like a steamer, flat iron for wig issues. When you travel with a wig, they can get a little iffy. So whatever you can use to restyle that if needed. But that was pretty solid.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything. I don't know if there's anything I'd add because that's
Glue is your friend.
Yeah.
I just say that
glue is your
when
friend.
you are at the con and there's not much else you could do, at least you have some glue on you. Yeah.
If you have something that you require Velcro, I'll bring extra little sheets of Velcro with me. If it's elastic, I'll bring extra elastic. Like if I'm wearing a piece
Elastic,
of armor,
yeah.
that has elastic attached to it, I'll bring like extra little bits of the components of some of my cosplays in case I need to do that. Yeah, and if you're, duct tape's not a bad idea. Sometimes that does come in handy. And extra rind. If you have something with stones, I bring
the
extra
stones.
stones with me because stuff will fall off.
Also, if you're wearing colored contacts, bring
your case.
everything you need
Yeah.
to take them out if you need to.
Yes.
And a lint roller.
Contact
And
man.
lint roller is a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to say for colored contacts, I had a hard time before I found colored contacts that actually were comfortable for me. There's a lot of places you can get them on now that are so much better. Like dailies, highly recommend dailies of anything. But it is okay if you can just wear contacts in general. It's okay to like not wear colored contacts, but still bring like a solution and
Like eye drops?
eye drops, eye wetting drops.
Yeah.
Also like little pads for like makeup,
Blotting
like
pads.
little blotting pads, and I always try to bring a lip.
Yeah,
if
I
need to put a
always
lip or
bring
something.
makeup touch up with me as well
Yeah.
because, like, literally this morning we had tacos for lunch and I was like, well, time to fix my lipstick.
Yeah.
Great.
Also, just if you have something that you know has potential to fall off, bring extra. So, like, if you have a bunch of bells on your cosplay, just bring extra bells with you in case you need to sew one on real quick.
I'll say bobby pins too. If you're
Yeah.
wearing
Yeah.
like wigs and stuff.
Yeah, just a handful of them.
Yeah.
Hope you're
Clutch them
writing
like
all of this down.
yeah, like your life depends on them.
Yeah.
Funny
it
enough, I
happens.
actually do travel with an iron now. So I actually worked with the brand Oliso at Colossal Con, and they have a mini iron. So
It's a very good
It's a
iron.
mini
It's
version
so
of
good.
their larger iron, and it's a lot more affordable compared to the bigger one. But it's about
It's a little guy.
yay. It's literally a little guy.
Yeah,
It's about
little
yay
guy.
big. I throw that in my suitcase now because I don't trust hotel irons anymore.
No, you shouldn't.
I don't trust them because I have seen them ruin costumes because people just put whatever kind of water in those things. And then the rust and stuff just kind of, imagine you're wearing a white dress and you use an iron and all of a sudden you're just like, well, guess I can't wear that costume today. So I bring my own steamer, I bring my own iron, and they actually have wool pads that you can also bring too. It's like a square this big. And that actually can double as an ironing board if you don't trust the ironing board. I don't trust those either. So the longer you cosplay, the more you kind of don't trust what other people have touched as long as it's exactly. So like bringing your own arsenal if you can, and if it's accessible to you, will save you a lot of grief. Because if you're the only one who's used it, then you know how it's been used.
In case you can't bring an iron, tip is, and I did this yesterday.
Did you steam it in the bathroom?
No, what I did was I used the hotel iron, but I grabbed a pillowcase off of one of the pillows and used it as a pressing cloth.
There you
So,
go. Food for thought.
Just don't burn the pillowcase because the hotel will get mad at you.
They will.
But
And-
that's my little tip is if you're in a pinch, you can do that.
You can also hang your costume up in the bathroom while you're taking a shower because the steam will also help.
And real quick too, if you have to bring a whole bunch of stuff, you may need to reconsider bringing the cosplay.
Oh, so
'Cause that might imply that you're not done with it. So
Yeah, we're talking repairs,
Yeah.
not creating the costume.
yeah.
But I would say a steamer and a good iron sesh because your stuff has been folded in a suitcase. That I feel like is a little bit more on the required side of like a toolkit, I
Yes.
guess.
What is one of your guys' like dream top tier cosplays that you would do? If you not like no money requirements, no time requirements, if you could do it, what would it be?
So I weirdly am obsessed with wings, which is much to my dismay because wings kind of are terrible to make. I have done one cosplay, Dame Aelin from Baldur's Gate 3. I love that. So that was one of my dream cosplays. But my next one is one of the Valkyrie from God of War.
Oh,
I
so good.
love those designs. It's just a lot of small detail, and I would need so much time and so much money. So it is a dream one for now.
All right. If time and money were not an issue in any way, I love World of Warcraft, but those are the craziest freaking builds ever. I am working on Tyrande Whisperwind, and that's been a dream cosplay for a long time.
Tyranda's so
I know. But otherwise, if it were just like a dream, no money, time worries, I'd probably make my own World of Warcraft, like
Like a tier- like a
character.
tier
Oh,
Yeah.
that would be so fun.
Yeah, most of my dream cosplays that I probably don't get to are just my own designs that I think would be fun. Also, Samus from Metroid.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that's a good one.
that's a good girl.
So
right
much
there.
work. I have a couple, but I think the one that keeps coming to mind that I haven't done yet is if anybody knows King DDD from Kirby.
Do you need a Kirby?
Yes, I do need a Kirby. I want to do a full mascot
Yes.
DDD, like
Oh my
accurate with a
God.
giant hammer.
I would like to make a fursuit too.
Yes, I want to
Yes,
make
I
a
wanna make a
fursuit so
fursuit,
bad.
too.
Like I love mascots and fursuits so much, and I want to make his like eyes like move. I love animatronics, so I want to do that so bad. He's like my ultimate. One day I'm gonna do it. I want to figure out a really cool cooling system so I don't die when I'm wearing it.
Yeah,
So-
just let me know.
I will-
I will
yeah.
absolutely. Kirby's like one of my favorite games of all time.
Okay,
So,
I've
like,
got, we've
I
got a
will
Kirby.
Yeah, I've been playing.
If
since-
anybody wants to join,
yeah.
come cosplay Kirby with us.
Cosplay Kirby. So for me, very similarly, I want to do more stuff from Warcraft. Specifically, Faerun Lothar from The War Within. She is so cool, and she's also one of like actually the first black represented characters like in the game. She's a half elf. She is so beautiful, and her armor is absolutely insane. And I want to do it so bad. My previous dream cosplay was actually Shepard from Mass Effect. She's actually on display in the other room as we speak. So if you want to come over and check her out, she's up there. I'm trying to think what other just like insane. Probably another thing from Monster Hunter. I really like Oda Garon's armor. That one's really cool. But Kuliaku is my baby because he's stupid. He's a stupid little bird that just carries around an egg, and he loves that egg so much. But his armor set is really cool. So really anything from video games ends up being a dream, and then the dream just kind of comes reality because I'm a little crazy.
Oh, my bad. My question, when you're thrifting items, can you use those items like a part of your costume for competing?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Most of the time, yes. But the thing is to always look at the contest rules before you compete, because they'll be different for every con. We don't have the standard set of rules for competitions, and they will tell you usually a percentage amount of what you had to have made from scratch. And most of the time, they're not going to say, like, you don't have to make your wig from scratch or your shoes from scratch. But if you, like, do use a pair of pants, for example, most of the time you can do that. But you want to make sure you make everything else. But it just depends on the percentage. But most of the time, yeah, you can totally do it. And it's totally okay.
And just be honest if someone asks if you did it or not.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
I feel like a lot of cons kind of vary. What is it, between like 50 to 70%, depending on how how complex of the categories they are. Most cons that I've judged usually are around 60 to 70%, which means that most of the stuff you don't end up making are like your wig, your shoes, maybe your pants. But once you start getting up there in the percentages, the more you make, the more will be in your favor. Because again, like I said way in the beginning, it's not that we don't want to give you points, but we can only give you points on the things you made. So if you didn't make it, we can't necessarily like give you anything for that. So the more you come in with saying like, oh yeah, like I did make my pants, or I made the undergarments, or I made the corset that goes under this ball gown, all of that will end up counting toward some ambiguous score that whether we keep track of that or not is.
Yeah, different
judges.
different judges, different contests, and it might depend. Like, I've seen say novice category will be maybe 50%, and then it might go up if you
to
go
like
to
masters.
intermediate / journeyman, and then masters is usually
You better make
minimum
almost
70.
everything. Yeah.
But that's again across the board. That's general. It's not always the case. Definitely check beforehand.
Yeah. Read the rules beforehand.
Yeah, read the rules. Always read the rules. It's very good.
Hashtag read your rules.
What are your like eye contact experiences and what are your wig experiences?
So I'm blind. I wear glasses most of the time. So I do try to find prescription color contacts, but even then they're still not perfectly for me. I get mine there's a ton of sites online. I recommend that you go to your doctor first.
Yes.
And see if they can give you a trial pair of lenses so that you not only know proper care, but then also how to put them in, like take them in and put them in and take them out. Most doctors, at least when I went, they taught me how to do that. So that's the best recommended route. And then also you can find out what your prescription is and all that. I would not just go randomly start buying contacts without any prep beforehand. And then for wigs, I make most of my wigs. I have a lot of hair. And again, it's more of an issue of things not fitting me. But I make a lot of my wigs from scratch.
Yeah. That is cool. So cool. I don't recommend eye contacts to people because they scare me, but
Yeah.
I can talk about wigs. Personally, most of my wigs I do just get from Amazon, and they are heavily styled, altered. Like this started out as just a blonde, uncut wig. But I think it's a good starting resources for finding wigs, and you don't have to, but if you like to zhuzh them up and style them from there, you can. I would look up tutorials on crimping.
Yes.
Because crimping wigs really helps. Even if you still want it to look natural, this is still crimped. It helps them to tangle less, be styled more easily. It's just,
It's magic.
It is
honestly.
magic, yeah.
It just, you feel like you can sculpt it. It's so good.
Just save your wrists and give yourself breaks.
Teasing is I used to be a teaser, and like this is all teased, and now I'm like I want to go back and redo this and crimp it because I know I'm probably gonna be happier with it. But yeah, I agree. Like eBay, sometimes you can find some pretty good stuff on eBay for less expensive than some of the more specialty wig stores. There's a couple of places I used to go to, but a lot of times they don't have things in stock. So it's like you can find stuff on Amazon, eBay.
Do not buy contacts from eBay.
No.
This is only wigs. This is
I'm
only
talking about
wigs.
wigs. I'm talking about wigs, not contacts.
Sounds like
I
a shirt.
promise.
Don't buy contacts. From
Don't
me.
buy. No. Yeah, I'm only talking about wigs here. Because I wear contacts, but I hate having to wear contacts. I just kind of suffer through it. But yeah, wigs is you don't have to spend a ton of money to have an amazing wig. Teasing. I mean, not teasing. Well, teasing is still a valuable technique, but yeah, you crimp it and it'll look amazing. I haven't made a helmet wig yet, but helmet wig tutorials are so fun to watch.
They look scary.
They look so scary, but they look amazing.
They're a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
I've made a couple. They're not fun.
Yeah, but you don't have to.
You don't have to. No.
Not everything needs to be a helmet wig. That's
No,
the only thing.
please. Oh my gosh. Funny enough, I would say that like for me, because I do a lot of natural hairstyles, I do make my own wigs. I've actually started getting wigs off of the TikTok shop. Because there's a lot of beautiful black women on there that are showing off wigs, and I'm like, you know what? I trust you.
Yeah.
So this one was actually from TikTok.
Oh, that's so cool.
It was expensive. So if you're going this route, definitely save up. But I think this might actually be one of my favorite wigs that I've
it's
ever
gorgeous.
owned because people
It's
think this is
beautiful.
actually my real hair. It's not.
It looks like
It
it's
looks
beautiful.
real.
I have
Yeah.
I have a giant afro under this.
If you want natural looking wigs, I would also lean toward looking up lace front wigs rather than hard parts.
But they can be more expensive.
they are more expensive.
So on the topic of wigs, what like resources do you use for upkeep and taking care of them once you're like storing them or not using them in cosplay actively?
Oh, that's a great question.
Storage boxes?
I'll be real with you.
Uh-oh.
I'm bad.
We're getting real now.
My wigs, they get sprayed down or washed, and I shove them in a Ziploc
Throw them in a bag.
Yeah, unless I've styled it. I did recently find someone on TikTok that stores their wigs in like buckets that you can get from like hardware stores.
Yeah,
like
I've
plastic.
seen that.
And I did put a wig I recently made in that, and it will live in there. So if you have something, and it's like super protected. So if you have something that you sculpted and you don't want to move at all, that might be a good option. You can also make a mannequin head and pin the wig to that, and then have some sort of storage solution with a bunch of shelves and stuff. But yeah, if it can fit in a bag, that's where it's going.
Yep. My level of storage depends on the level of styling it was done. So it can range anywhere from in a bag, in a bin, to
On a pedestal.
Yeah,
like-
to like a mannequin head, or this is something helpful I've found on Amazon, is they have like these velvet wig hangers, so it's not quite the size like of a huge mannequin head, but it kind of folds out into like a circular velvet shape that you can put the wig over,
Oh,
and it stacks, so you can put several wigs down on it, and that is what I've mostly used.
Yeah, I love that. I think my more sculpted ones, I buy the little foam heads, and they're really cheap, and I will just pin them, and I have a I redid my sewing room this year, and I just went up. Like all my storage, I'm going up as vertical as possible, and I made it to where I have a few of my sculpted wigs are on the top of this shelf on little foam heads that I just pin them. So they just live there. Like Nurse Joy just lives
on a wall.
She lives on the shelf. She does not get bagged up. But anything that's a little bit more natural, I always like to keep the paper that the wigs come with.
Like the net.
In the
netting.
netting.
The netting.
So I put that back in there. I put it all back that way into the baggie, and then it goes into a bin. But it's still like that's still good for it, just to keep everything like netted.
If you want, if you want to upgrade from a plastic bag, you can get like either silk or satin like bags for them, because that actually keeps all of like the weird static electricity that kind of just happens to wigs in general. But for me, maybe it also might just be like a braid thing, because I typically wear a satin bonnet when I go to bed. I actually keep a lot of my braided wigs specifically in a satin little
that's really
bag.
smart.
And I notice that when I take the wig out, it looks exactly like I put it in. So food for thought.
Yeah.
Also, too, for a little tip, for a quick and cheap mannequin head, get a styrofoam mannequin head from like Michael's or any craft store, and then get a styrofoam disc.
Make it a little stand.
Yeah, and then just glue it on top, and then you have a stand, and you have a wig head. And
just goes up
it won't tip over with like a heavy wig or anything.
And I usually store my wigs if it's associated with a character. I have a little like shoe Tupperware bins that I'll put my shoes and my wig, everything together in a bin, and I'll usually label it and have it stacked. I had one fall on my head the other day when I was pulling my stuff out for Nurse Droid. Tifa, my Tifa box knocked me in the face. Don't do that. But store those things together so everything's compact and is not getting damaged. All my wigs that don't associate with anything is just in a big bin by itself. But yeah, that's another thing I do just to keep things
Organized.
sane.
Yeah.
So I can find things.
We have time for one more question.
I love talking about storage.
All right, so now that we're in the wig category, I have never made a wig before, and I want to start, like, with my next cosplay, I do want to create a wig. Where do I start when it comes to materials?
What character is it?
I'm going to be doing Thriller Michael Jackson, and I want to make curly hair.
Honestly, for you, your first bet, go to a black beauty supply store.
Yep.
Because there actually might already be a wig that exists that you don't have to completely do that from scratch with. But honestly, for me, a lot of the like extensions I get actually do come from black beauty supply stores. Because as a black person, like we know how to do our hair and all the funny and like unique colors, but extensions already exist. Sometimes a base hairstyle will already be there, and then all you have to do is like either tease it or modify it or crimp it or do a little extra to it to make it to where you want it to be. But specifically for him, because I know his hair has texture, I think that would be a good place to start so you're not completely starting from scratch, because wigs can be very difficult to start out with if you have no experience with them. So I think it would be more fun for you to experience what it's like to style it and not just have to completely make something from nothing. You probably would get a little less frustrated.
So I do want to compete with this cosplay. So
That's okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's okay to start with the base wig.
Half the time we don't even judge a wig if everything else is made, because we assume that you styled the wig at some point unless you stated that, oh, I commissioned this from someone else. But if you bought a base wig and you styled it, that's fine.
Yep.
That's totally fine.
There's one more in the back. Was there another question in the back? Yep, way back there. Got time for another one.
We can do it.
We got it. All right.
Hi. Hi. I'm sorry if you answered this already, but I just wanted to know, like, how much experience do you have to have before you can, like, judge or become a judge in costumes?
It depends.
It definitely depends. It depends on what the contest requirements are. It depends on what con you're going to. I think a lot of cons, it's either that you have experience competing and you've won certain titles, or you work professionally in the costuming industry, and that you are considered maybe not expert, but you were considered to be employed in that field.
Yeah, I mean, as an example, there are some people who judge contests because they've been in many, many contests and have been able to show their skill doing that. Or Rain Emery, again, back to my friend. She has only been in a few cosplay competitions, but she has a degree in sewing and fashion design, and she literally makes sewing patterns, so she can show that she has done a lot in the way of cosplay, specifically sewing, but that's why she's able to judge things.
Yeah, there's not like an award requirement for judging. It depends on because if you can present that you know how to do the things, that's the important part, is that a judge is knowledgeable of the skill set they're judging. That's the most important part. And then also being somebody who can make somebody feel safe while they're presenting their work, and somebody who can listen really well. So there's a lot of soft skills with judging too.
And to be completely frank, sometimes having a bit of a social media does help.
It can help. Yeah. Just, getting your work,
Get your
getting
name
portfolio
out
out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, make a cosplay resume.
You
but also
make a media kit.
A lot of judges are also considered to be beacons or good examples within the cosplay community, because good behavior goes a far way too.
Yeah.
Being able to respect other people and have a good reputation also is important.
All right. Well, we guys want to tell everybody where we can find you on social media?
Sure. Again, my name is Jazz. My cosplay name is Jazzthebat Cosplay. It is jazz like the music. I am on most social media. I exist on TikTok
exists.
Okay, I do use TikTok too. And then if you want to ask me about things, I'll be up there in a little bit.
Yeah, same here. We have a booth up in the corner in the main part of the library where all of the artist alley is happening. But I am Halcybella. You can find me on pretty much any social media besides Twitter. I do not like Twitter.
That's
but
fine.
otherwise,
that's
yeah.
valid.
HALCYBELLA.
And I'm Alpaca Ash on also pretty much everything, also except Twitter. I have a Twitter technically, but I do not post there anymore. But I primarily TikTok and Instagram, though I'm going to start posting on YouTube more. But it's yeah, I'm gonna do it. So yeah, come find me.
And then I'm Akakioga. You actually can find me on Twitter. Funny enough, a lot of my industry contacts are on Twitter, so that's the only reason why I use it. But yeah, like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads on occasion. I'll be on that as well. It's the better version of Twitter. And then I dabble on TikTok here and then when people remind me that I should probably making video form content. But I'm on there occasionally, but mostly Threads and Instagram on my end.
I'm Chaos Incarnate Cosplay, also known as Vic. I'm on Instagram and TikTok. You can find me on those. Why don't we give our panelists a round of applause?
I'm going to take a quick selfie, okay?
Oh, with the group.
Oh yeah, the room selfie.
Yes, we got to do a big room selfie.
Don't drop the chair.
Say.
Yay! Thanks. Come on, everyone.
Let's get everybody in it.
Oh, God.
Everybody in it.
Let me wipe my screen. Sorry, guys. Social media calls.
Your offer's so long.
Oh no, it's a video. This will be for posterity. Thanks, guys.
Thank you guys so much for coming out.